Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Chicago, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Duluth, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, Jacksonville, Florida, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets. So today we're going to be talking about this guy. He's the new vice presidential pick from Minnesota. And do you know that that guy is 1 year older than me? I don't know. He looks like he's 80. Am I wrong about that? Do I not look like anyway, it doesn't matter. I just think that's fun. Okay, I got to get over here. So I just want to just give you a little background on what's up with this guy. Governor Tim Walz. Walz. Doesn't it sound like it should be spelled with two L's and an S? But it's not. It's spelled with one L and one Z. Governor Tim Walz. So he tweeted this in April of last year. This morning, I joined other governors to meet with President Volodymyr Zelensky and reaffirm our ongoing commitment to Ukraine. As Ukraine defends freedom against tyranny, Minnesota stands with our Ukrainian community and the people of Ukraine. What the F is the governor doing with this? What is there any other foreign leaders you're meeting with? Why is the governor doing that? I'll tell you what, his well, by the way, I guess the governor doesn't know anything about what's happening. Again, I have to remind people the reason why there was an invasion is because it was provoked by NATO and by Ukraine. Ukraine and the CIA overthrew their democratically elected president in 2014, installed a puppet. The people in the eastern part of Ukraine didn't go along with that coup government, and so Ukraine started shelling those people, the Russian ethnic people and the Russian speakers, and they had peace agreements. Ukraine broke both of them. The peace agreements they had with Russia, they also broke. And why did they do that? They did that just so they could build up their military, because the NATO has been trying to get a war with Russia going for like 10 years. It's probably more than that. But here it is. We're here. And one of the big things was that, as Mark Califatis reminds us, in 1990, when Gorbachev returned to occupy East Germany for the purpose of that nation's reunification, he was promised that NATO would not expand 1 inch to the east. That was 16 new NATO states ago. So here, let's watch. There it is. There's the classified document that reveals that. This is what NATO looks like. Look at that. And Ukraine, so they were threatening. Kamala Harris went and gave a speech saying, we're going to put Ukraine in NATO. And that was the one thing that Putin couldn't cotton to. So he also invaded not to start a war, but to end a war. And I'm just showing this so you know that Governor Tim Walz is a warmongering puppet of the military-industrial class, or the military-industrial complex, just like Kamala Harris, just like Joe Biden, just like the entire Democratic Party, and most of the Republican Party. Not all of them. Most of them. So it's a uniparty thing, once again. So I just want to remind you that these people are the opposite of being Democrats. They're pro-war, they're anti-free speech, they're pro-censorship, they're anti-bodily autonomy, they're pro-forced medical experiments. Remember, at censorship, well, we're going to get to that part, is the hallmark of dictators. So, and as Mark points out, the world is catching on that the United States are the warmongers. People in America are catching on. Biden is the Nord Stream bomber, and by Seymour Hersh. That's right. The Western populations are awakening to the sinister agenda of their elite. And who said that? Vladimir Putin. He said that February 21st, 2023. So, again, this idea that somehow this Tim Walz is some kind of a progressive or a lefty, he might be a progressive compared to, Joe Biden and Hitler. someone who's funding a genocide, someone who's vowed to veto universal health care, someone who's funding another war, a proxy war with a nuclear power, someone who's right now today bombing Syria again, bombing Yemen again. So maybe in some weird way, Tim Walz is to the left of somebody in America, but he's not a what I grew up with thinking of what a Democrat was or a liberal was. That's not what he is. He's a pro-war, pro-censorship maniac. And he wanted people to snitch on each other during COVID, just like I was told they did in Russia when I was a kid. They would say, oh, the thing about Russia is Russia wants you to snitch on each other to the government. That's what Tim Walz wanted people to do in Minnesota. So this is just a very quick background on who Tim Walz actually is.
I believe having a substantial percentage of my financial future secured with gold and silver. You know this. That's why I decided to partner with our sponsor, Colonial Metals Group. They helped me set up a safe and secured self-directed IRA where I have access to my assets no matter what the stock market or, for that matter, what the government's doing. Let the team of experts at Colonial Metals Group help you protect your family's future. We put together a special offer for our audience. Click on the link in the description below or call a special 800 number and you'll receive a safe and up to 10 grand in silver. So the number over at Colonial Metals is 888-910-1419. That's 888-910-1419. Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Chicago, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Duluth, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, Jacksonville, Florida, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets.